Hey friends, thanks for stopping by. Today I'll be showing you something a little different. I will be using that sketch that you see there, and I'm also using the printables from tracyreed.com, and this is the hashtag Stay Home and Craft collection. I'm also using the hashtag Stay Home Travelers notebook papers. So what you're seeing here is I am looking for a picture, but while I do that, and at first I was going to scrapbook this page, but then I changed my mind. I am using some marshmallow basil paper, and I'm going to use this Traveler's notebook printables on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And here's what I'm going to do. I am going to cut. First of all, I printed my paper, and I use presentation paper. I believe it's the HP matte paper, and I get that on Amazon. I will try to put a description below. And I just use my regular HP printer. It's nothing fancy. I think I paid like maybe $120, $130 for it. I've had it for a few years, and it does the job. I can't complain. It is actually a HP Envy Photo 6255. Okay, so here's what I love about printables. You download them, you buy them, you download them, you print them. You print them as many times as you want. You can print them now, later, whenever. If you want to print them multiple times, you can. Unlike regular scrapbooking supplies that once you use it, it's done. I know. It's kind of sad, but this is one of the reasons why I love using them. So I'm cutting my strips down to about 2¼ by 7 inches. And you'll see me do that now. On 5 different pieces of the paper. So I just want to say thank you for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe below. If you are a subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you would like to get notifications, click on the bell below and you will get notifications when I have new content out. Here we are cutting the paper. I am going to ink my edges with Tim Holtz Distress ink. I believe I use the oxide in the Hickory Smoke. And I'm now looking for, now I was going to use this photo, and this is during the whole COVID, the thick of COVID. But then I was like, wait a minute, I printed out stuff about crafting. What am I doing with a supermarket picture? So you will see me eventually change out my picture. And I will be using this, it's like a pink colored wood grain as my background for my, as my photo mat. I do end up printing out 2 3x4 pictures, and that will be what I will use. So here's the awesome thing about printables. She also has the ephemera that matches, and what you do is you print them, and if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, and I'm sure one of the other ones, a Brother one, you basically just print and cut. And boom, you have your ephemera, which you can see it there at the left-hand top corner of my screen. Everything is printed out. I have everything cut out already. But if you don't have a machine, you can just fussy cut. And they're easy enough to fussy cut because they're spread out enough that you don't have to worry about, messing up, or, you can cut it with the white edge or without the white edge. Makes life easy. And again, you can cut out as many sets as you want. If you know you're going to be doing a lot of crafting, a certain, whatever topic, then, if you feel that you need more than one then you go ahead and do it. For whatever reason, you know, I really do enjoy using them. And I really want to get back into the whole digital or more hybrid, and because I do love my paper. And I do love purchasing stuff from, you know, different stores, like my little scrapbook store. So, but I do also love the whole Photoshop and digital world of scrapbooking. So as you see here, I am putting together my layout, and it's going to just go across the page, and I'm just trying to figure out which way I want to lay the papers. You know, like I didn't want to have like two darks together or two lights together. So I figured this was the best way to spread out my page. I'm going to start from the middle, and I'm going to stick down this little banner paper, and I realize that it's upside down. So I flip it over. And same thing. I mean, and it works just like, you know, scrapbooking paper. So, I mean, I will get many uses of it. So I'm excited. I love the quality. It printed out beautifully, printed out easy. It was not complicated. If you've never used a digital file, and you have questions, you know, feel free to ask them below or send me a private message, and I will try my best, you know, to answer the questions for you. Yeah, so as I put these papers down, I realized that I didn't really space them out that great. So I will go back, and I am going to straighten them out a little bit. You know, not even a ruler can help me with that. I'm just horrible when it comes to trying to keep things straight. But I guess that's what makes me a little more, I guess, quirky. So, yeah, but you see, I glued those down, and I was able to peel them back up. No problem. Paper didn't rip. You know, what I like about the presentation paper is that it's a little thicker than your typical copy paper. So it does give you a better quality print as well. And I also print at best, you know, like the print quality, so that my paper is nice, the color is nice and saturated. So I think this is where I switch out my picture. Yep, there we go. So I switched out my picture, and it is picture of fabric. And this, at this point, I was making masks, trying to keep busy. This was around the time my mom was in the hospital, and I needed to find things to do. So I started making masks, and I think I made something like, I don't know, maybe like 100 masks total. I am not a seamstress by any means, but I do know how to use a sewing machine, and luckily I had two sewing machines, so I was able to whip up masks pretty quickly. The hardest part was finding fabric and elastic, but I think elastic was as hard to find as toilet paper was at one point. I've cut these little banners out, which are going to basically sit right there, and they're going to anchor my title. So the struggle continues with my adhesive. For whatever reason, if you watch my last couple of videos, I don't know what I did with my tape runner. I hope I didn't throw it out, but it is quite the possibility. So I am flipping through and using up stuff that I have in my drawer, and going to figure out if I'm going back to my ATG tape or what I'm doing. So I have a little sewing machine, and all these are die cuts from this collection. The card says, just keep sewing, just keep sewing, just keep sewing, sewing, sewing. And then I popped up this little tag that says sewing masks, and I am going to stick that down right below that, because, yeah, that's basically what I was doing, sewing masks. And then right up on top. And I actually do not end up using that black one that's, I don't even know what it says, but I don't end up using it. I do use the scissor because obviously I did use a scissor for all this. And I thought it worked perfectly there for my little cluster. So I'm going to have 3 little clusters. And one will be all the way to the top left corner. Now I'm looking through my papers because I wanted to, I was thinking of doing another banner going across, and I end up doing that using this paper here. And what I am going to do is pop up, actually I started popping up therapy, but what I end up doing is popping up sewing. So I end up flipping it because obviously it's not therapy sewing, it's sewing therapy. And here I'm realizing that I popped the wrong word up. And all I'm using is a little piece of foam, fun foam, that I just cut into strips, and I am just going to adhere my sewing therapy, and I'm going to eyeball this for right now, and I will use my paper trimmer, as you can see, to make my banner so that it can kind of hold my title. And I'm really happy with the way this layout came out. It came together so super quick. And I'm excited to get back into the whole digital scrapbooking thing. So I'm just going to make another banner going, and this one's going to go across those smaller banners. I'm inking my edges. I'm going to throw my sewing machine up here. And I'm just trying to figure out what else I'm going to put on here, which I actually move the sewing therapy over all the way to the right, and you'll see me do that shortly. I'm looking for other things to add to the page that have to do with sewing. But yeah, it really did come together super quick. See, here's where I'm moving everything over because I wanted to put the sewing machine on the left-hand part of this banner. And, you know, I used the same type of paper, and as you can see, I've peeled it up more than once. Still in one piece, looks great. And if you stay till the end of the video, you'll see close-ups, and you'll see that it looks just like normal scrapbooking paper. I'm going to pop up my sewing machine, and then that little cluster on the right where my title is pretty much done. And here's where I'm starting to pick stuff for the third cluster, and I'm auditioning different things, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. And I see this card, and I just want the top portion of the card, and it basically says currently crafting, and then it has for you to check off face masks, scrapbooks, cards, sewing, yarn crafts, other. I don't end up marking it while I'm scrapbooking because I don't know why I didn't do it, but I end up checking off face masks, which I thought was great that it was already on there. And then I'm going to find one that says Maker's Gonna Make. That's not the one. There we go. Maker's Gonna Make. And then I also find a little circle that says So Good. And then I'm just going to add some little hearts and some, I end up using a little scrap of paper there just to give me a little bit more layering. I'm going to ink all my edges. Sorry about the top of my head, but sometimes it's kind of hard to decide where things are going if you're not if you don't have that bird's eye view. Now, I'm getting very close to the end of this video. I think everything will show up on here. I will be doing a little stencil work using a Paige Evans stencil, as well as some Tim Holtz Distress ink. I think it's the Distress Oxide in the Tattered Rose that matched absolutely perfectly with this paper collection. And I think this is where I am now looking for the ink. And I'm just going to swatch it real quick to see if it works. Any day now. Sorry about that. So this is the stencil that I'm using, and I'm going to use this little brush, and you can see the color's perfect. And I'm just going to use a scrap of paper so I don't get it on my page. And I'm just going to add a little bit, just, you know, to give it a little bit more, like a finishing touch to the page so there's not that much white going on. But yeah, pretty much this is it. I'm going to add some gold splatters. I'm going to use some enamel, actually they're puffy sticker dots from Pebbles in black and white. And that's about it. I thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything digital or anything else, any other content from my page, feel free to leave me a comment and I'll try to answer it as quickly as possible. At the end of my video, you will find still shots and close-ups of my layout, as well as other links to videos that might interest you. Have a great day.